You've spent so much time invested in making your video what it is, and it's perfect. But the one important thing that nobody is talking about, what do you do with your video project once you're done with it? What's up, my name's Ray, I help out creative entrepreneurs. Consider subscribing if you're not already. Now, let's get into this. And make sure you stick around until the end, because I'm going to show you a really cool feature that's going to completely change the game. It's awesome. I promise. The hardest part is deciding what you're going to do with that video that you spent the better part of a week on after you're finished with it. Yeah, everybody knows you upload it to YouTube, but what do you actually do with the actual files that are on your computer? Now, this is actually going to come down to personal preference, and you do have several different options, each with their own pros and cons. So number one, you could destroy everything. The pro here is that you'll never run out of hard drive space. The con, on the other hand, is that you'll never be able to cross those video files into other videos to create more content. You'll never be able to reference them later. This is the digital equivalent of razing an entire village to the ground. Because work and time matters, no thank you. Or option number two, you save everything. And the pros and cons to this are the exact opposite of the previous option. Every 4K 30GB plus video project, every photo, even the bad ones that you accidentally burst shot while your phone was in your hoodie pocket, that used tissue from 6 months ago that you forgot was in there but you just found in there, yeah, that's beautiful. Every scent, and every little piece of lint that you pulled from the dryer, hey, you can make fuzzy socks out of those. I fit into this last category. Partially. I'm the digital version of a pack rat.
Next time on Digital Hoarders, me.
Up until about 2 weeks ago, I've saved almost every part of every video file that I've created since starting on YouTube. So what did I do about it? Initially, I was using a 2TB Western Digital Easy Store portable hard drive. That's a mouthful. And this was sufficient for storing everything on it. Everything from my video files to my pictures to other things that I wanted to back up. What happens when you have one portable hard drive that you store absolutely everything on and something happens to it because you put all of your baskets into one egg? Because you put all of your eggs into one basket. Long story short, you're screwed. Unless you use a service like Backblaze where you can store unlimited backups of all of your files, which I'll actually leave a link to the free trial down in the description. When I started the Foodie 2, I realized that because I was recording everything in 4K and actually ended up transitioning this channel entirely to 4K as well, I was going to need some better options. So at that point, I invested in a LaCie 2 big 8TB Thunderbolt 3 dock that came with an extra 2TB portable hard drive, which up until now I've just been using as a backup drive. This was working for me up until about 2 weeks ago when I realized that backup drive is over half full. Now I could have invested in another backup hard drive, which is inevitable at some point, but what if I could hold off for just a little bit? So what were my options? Number one, delete everything and leave the future of my videos up to the YouTube gods. No. 2, save everything. Or option number 3, delete all of the unused parts of my video projects that I'm absolutely not going to use. Bingo. But how? Media management. If you're using Premiere Pro, then this feature is actually called Project Manager, which I don't know anything about except that it's very similar. I'm going to show you how this works in DaVinci Resolve real quick. So this is for a collaboration video that we did on the Foodie 2 with another channel, Kitchen Sense. Like I said before, I don't like to delete anything, but at the same time, I don't want it to take up my entire hard drive. And obviously there are going to be some dead pauses and dead spaces in there that you're not going to want to carry over onto your hard drive, taking up space. You're going to have your entire hard drive filled up with dead space. Like, come on. First thing you're going to do is come over here to the Media tab. You're going to go to File, and you're going to go to Media Management. When you click on Media Management, you have 3 different options. You can manage just clips, you can manage entire timelines, or you can manage the entire project. In this instance, I'm just going to be managing the entire project. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick your location where you're going to put it. I'm going to put it on my D drive, select folder, and then you can select all media, or used media and trim. I'm going to do used media and trimming, keeping 24 frame handles, which is going to keep about half a second on each side of each video clip in case, something happens and I need to go back and edit it. Something like that actually did happen for one of my video projects where I used subclips. Don't use subclips in DaVinci Resolve, you're gonna run into issues. I ran into issues and my entire sound was off from the video by 5 frames. It was frustrating, didn't know what to do. So you're gonna do used media, and immediately you're gonna see the current size and the new size. The new size actually dropped. If I did used media, it was gonna use the entire thing. Another thing that I like to do is preserve the hierarchy. I'm gonna preserve this to 3 folder levels. Initially, if you're just trying to test it out, don't relink to new files. However, once you're done with the project, go ahead and click relink new files and press start. All right, cool. And once you've done that, you're gonna notice that your videos have been separated into multiple different clips, which if we do the list view, you're gonna see it broke them all up into different sections because you no longer have the empty space in between the edits, so there's just no reason to keep them around. Essentially, we were just able to save 14 gigabytes of space. Even if we go to edit, same thing. I just want to show you what this looks like now. If we exit out of this and we go into my D drive, so you're gonna see here, I have a new folder and I have actually the backup archive for this. The size for this project was 25.7 gigabytes. The new size is 11.6 gigabytes. So it's a huge difference automatically. Now, one important thing to note is any media that you haven't used, you haven't put it on a timeline, it is going to be removed. Now, media management is not deleting the original files. It's not erasing your files. It's just creating a copy of your files, okay? What you want to do though is create a new timeline in any media, any sections of clips that you absolutely want to save. You want to put those onto a new timeline. That way, at least it's used, the media management will end up saving it. Because you don't want to find out like 6 months down the road, you're like, oh, I wish I had this clip, and you go to look for it and it's not there because you didn't use it and you lost it. Use it or lose it, right? Just like muscles. This is why, yeah. Let's not talk about me. So what I did was I went through the entire video project, and this is probably something you should do while you're editing the video. And I found some of the parts that we did not include in the project, which maybe we could use for outtakes and some other project on Patreon or something like that. And so what I did was I actually created a separate timeline called outtakes right here. So here we have our outtakes. There was only really one section to the outtakes that I ended up saving. There wasn't really anything beyond that. Like I said, media management is a game changer. So boom, there you have it. Solid gold right there. So what do you do with your video projects when you're done? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments. I want to hear all about it. Don't forget to smash that like button if you got value out of this. Share this with a friend if you think it'll help. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and until next time, I'll catch you later. It's been real.